Hey everybody, it is Weather for Weather Geeks time here on Thursday evening. Lots to talk about this evening, so let's not waste any time. First of all, you may have heard, I haven't talked about this yet on Weather Geeks, but you may have heard this week, and I just saw a segment on NBC Nightly News about it, a big upgrade this week to the GFS model. You sometimes hear me refer to a lot of different models on this video and on social media as well. The GFS is kind of the flagship American model that reaches the whole globe. The NAM model is a North America only model, but the GFS covers the entire globe, produced here in the United States, I should say. And on average, the European model, which is kind of the European equivalent of the American GFS, does better than the GFS as an average. There are times though the GFS does beat the European in certain situations, but this upgrade is long overdue. Does that mean it's going to start beating the European model more often? I wouldn't bet on that just yet. The European model is probably still the superior model, but at least we've taken a big step forward in our modeling here produced in the United States. So with that upgrade to the GFS, which just went operational yesterday. All right, enough model talk. Let's talk about one interesting little thing here. You may have seen video online this afternoon. There was most likely a very brief tornado touchdown today in parts of Geauga County, northern Geauga County, around the Huntsburg area. I've seen video of this, and this is probably on the ground for less than a minute, and I'm sure it was an EF0 tornado, and it did a little bit of damage in a rural area. Barn blew over, and there was some roof damage on a home. This was at about 3:04 this afternoon. Now, this much like you would expect with this type of very, very brief, weak tornado, there was no tornado warning on this. In this kind of situation, there almost never is going to be. This is what the radar looked like right around the time of the tornado report. What we're talking about, what we're talking about is probably this little blip right here. You'll notice there's no nice couplet or anything. You're not going to get a very impressive radar presentation on a very weak tornado like this, but that little bright red blip right there is probably our tornado. That briefly touched down right in through here earlier on today in parts of Geauga County. It wasn't a day that we expected any tornadoes, but there was just that one lonely instance of a very weak, very brief tornado, northern Geauga County. All right, we picked up 0.43 at the airport since midnight last night, bringing our monthly total to 4.16, and we're not even halfway through the month. And I really think with the wet pattern continuing through the end of the month, we're probably going to end up somewhere north of probably, I would guess, 7 inches for the month, making it our second consecutive very wet June. June of last year was also quite wet. We had a wet June and a wet September last year, and then July and August were actually fairly dry. And that July-August combo, the last two times we've had below average precipitation in any month. It's been almost a year. All right, some rain gauge numbers for today. Over the last 24 hours, I should say. Here at our downtown studios, almost exactly half an inch. My place in Boardman, 0.78. And generally half an inch to 3/4 of an inch was pretty common on a lot of these rain gauges. When we look at some Doppler radar estimates, though, over the last 24 hours, there was a little stripe through here where, some places probably did see more than an inch worth of rain, parts of Columbiana and Mahoning counties as well. All right, now, this evening there's not much going on. When I recorded this at 7:10, there was a couple of showers and sprinkles out there. The tropical downpours we had earlier on today are gone. They're not coming back. What will come back, though, is this batch of steady, chilly rain. It's going to pivot through the overnight hours. This is a system that really reminds me more of October or even November rather than this time of the year. You'll see that on the satellite presentation. When you have a deep pocket of cold air aloft, you see this kind of really popcorn look to the cloudiness a lot of times on the satellite presentation, and especially over southern Ohio. That's what you saw earlier on today. The air very chilly aloft. Had a little bit of hail in the panhandle of West Virginia earlier on today, but other than that, and other than the isolated tornado in Geauga County, we did not have much in the way of severe weather around our region, just some hefty downpours earlier on today. There's our steady rain for the overnight. Now, the timing on this is pretty good, and that'll be long gone by the time most people are up and at 'em on a Friday morning. It's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow. As sunshine rules the day, there'll be a few fair weather clouds in the afternoon. I think tomorrow will be a lot like yesterday, and especially a lot like Tuesday. Remember how pristine it looked on Tuesday? That's the way it's going to be a lot of the day tomorrow. I mean, we're talking a good deal of sun, low humidity, dew points 40s to lower 50s, and very comfortable temperatures, no higher than the lower 70s. All right, weekend forecast. Gotten a lot of questions about the weekend forecast because it's a weekend in June. There's a lot going on. There's, people are trying to do things outdoors. We have the concert at the amphitheater Saturday evening. It's Father's Day weekend. People are doing stuff with dad, birthday parties, weddings, all that kind of stuff going on a summer evening, or a summer day, I should say, and the weather all important. What I can tell you about Saturday is, while there could be a sprinkle in the morning, the better chance of wet weather will be in the afternoon. Now, this is not going to be a washout, but I do think there can be renegade shower and thunderstorm activity during the second half of the day. It's a game of chance. There's really not going to be much rhyme or reason to this. If you're unlucky, you're going to get under one of these. If you're lucky, you'll miss them. That's the way Saturday is going to be. I think Sunday will hold a better chance of more locations seeing more numerous showers and storms. What I mean by that is you have a better chance of seeing multiple rounds of wet weather on Sunday as compared to Saturday, as this front kind of stalls across the region. It's going to be a muggy day on Sunday, a pretty humid day. So there'll be plenty of juice to wring out of the atmosphere. So again, while I don't think this is a total rain out or a washout on Sunday, more frequent rounds of precipitation likely that day. All right, Saturday morning in Poland at Mulder Farms, the Strawberry 5K and Fun Run benefiting the Second Harvest Food Bank. I will be participating in this. You'll see me huffing and puffing out there if you were out there running Saturday morning. This starts at 9 a.m., 61 degrees. We'll be in the 60s all morning. Pretty comfortable for runners. Humidity a non-story. You'll notice we have these low chances of rain. Could be a sprinkle. That should be about it on Saturday. Scrappers home opener Sunday evening. This is going to be a dicey proposition here. And notice the elevated chances of showers and storms at Eastwood Field Sunday evening. Hopefully we'll get some dry time in so we can get the game in and get the fireworks in after the game. Scrappers in Batavia starting at 6:35 Sunday evening. All right, I showed you this graphic last night. This takes us out through the next week. And, just not super optimistic that we're going to bust out of this wet pattern anytime real soon. Rainfall totals advertised on the modeling here for the next 7 days, north of 2 inches on top of what we just got today. And again, I think through the end of the month, we've got a chance of seeing 3 or 4 additional inches on average worth of rain. And today's CPC, Climate Prediction Center, 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook shows a lot of green across the eastern U.S. So again, that doesn't mean every day is a washout. We're not going to see tropical downpours every day like we had today, but frequent precipitation events, that seems to be in the cards for the second half of June, just like the first half of the month. All right, I'm going to have an update on the weekend forecast this evening on 21 News at 11 and on this video for Friday evening. So tune in for those updates if you have outdoor plans for this upcoming weekend. Thanks for watching Weather for Weather Geeks, and have a great Thursday night.